morning, Loyalton High School. The last few weeks in the news at LHS have been quite eventful, wouldn't you say, Brett?
I would, Mr. Luke Campbell.
Right.
First, on Thursday, November 7th, LHS was put on a partial lockdown as a result of a couple Facebook posts. The school was informed of the threatening post by several parents who had read the posts. LHS staff immediately read the posts and acted by deciding to put us in partial lockdown. There was many controversies about whether this was the right action to do at the time. LHS News took to the halls to decide if it was the correct action.
How did you feel about how the school locked down about 2 weeks ago?
It was really scary.
Stop smiling. Were you afraid?
Yes.
How afraid?
Partially.
You're not.
Partially.
Yeah. Did you go home early?
No.
Good. Thank you.
You should interview me.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Grizzly News. I'm here with Andrew Keelak today, interviewing him about the lockdown. Do you feel the school overreacted when we had the lockdown after the Facebook posts?
I don't feel that they overreacted. They're trying to ensure the safety of us and our students. But some of the things that, couldn't go to the bathroom every now and then. Could have an escort, but no.
Were you afraid at all during this experience?
Not really. I had my friends to help me, and Miss McKinney was really good about it. She makes sure we're all nice and calm.
Well, thank you, Andrew Keelak.
You're welcome.
Brett Colbert here with Sequoia Bergstrom. I would like to ask you, do you think the school did a good job in calling the partial lockdown 2 weeks ago after the Facebook threats?
Yeah, they did an okay job. Some of us students didn't really know what was going on. I mean, it could have been obvious, but some people just kind of skipped that, and they handled it pretty well, I guess.
And were you scared at all during this process?
No, not really. I felt secure and calm about it, the whole situation. Some of the teachers didn't know about it, so you weren't really in a mood to react. You were just kind of just joking around about it for the most part.
Thank you, Sequoia Bergstrom. Brett Colbert for Loyalton Grizzly News, out. Interesting. It seems more the students are better off safe than sorry.
Yes. Second, and then on that Friday, November 22nd at approximately 7:30 a.m., smoke was detected flowing out of the door of the ag barn. A Mr. Ed Salas first detected the smoke as he was walking his dog that morning. When teacher Megan Micheri arrived at the school, he called her immediately, and she then called 911, and firefighters arrived on the scene. With the cold weather, the heat lights had been turned on overnight to keep the newly born lambs warm enough until morning. Unfortunately, the only ewe in the barn scalded itself on the lamb, kicking it and starting a fire up the sidewall of the barn. Sadly, one ewe and her newborn lamb died from smoke inhalation, but no other animal was injured or killed.
The damage is thankfully minimal and reconstruction is underway. The estimates for the repairs are at this time unknown, but the insurance adjuster has made an initial assessment. Unfortunately, getting the money and the work done through an insurance company takes time. At this time, it is exactly what the Loyalton Ag Department doesn't have, with freezing winter temperatures here to stay for the season and the animals let out in the frigid temperatures. If you're interested in helping the Ag Department in any way, contact Mrs. Callie Griffin or any Ag Advisor Committee member for a list of names and contact information. Call Loyalton High School Ag Department. And now for Grizzly Sports News.
The junior varsity and varsity teams headed to the Tiger Classic in Portola. All four teams fought hard, but sadly ended up short for first place. The JV boys put everything they had into the game, but couldn't hang on to a win against Portola. Same story goes for the JV girls. Varsity girls played an exciting four-quarter game, but unfortunately lost 33-30 in a nail-biting game. The varsity boys also played an exciting, hard-fought match, but ended up short by a score of 65-60. We're proud of our Loyalton Grizzlies, and know that next time we face up against those purple people, we'll see a 4-team win.
All I wanted was a win.
It's dark here at Loyalton High School on a beautiful Wednesday evening, November 20th. So what goes on here at Loyalton High School after school hours? Come along with me and we will find out. Here inside the gym we have the JV girls and the varsity girls practicing. They usually practice right after the JV boys, and then right after the varsity boys practice. Let's take a look inside. It's 5 o'clock, and here at the gym, we have the JV girls and the varsity girls practicing, and the JV boys already practiced. They'll practice until 6 o'clock, and then come the varsity boys, and they practice until 8. Man, the gym is a busy place after school hours. I wonder what else is going on here at Loyalton High School. And what's going on here? Well, let's find out. And here we are, 5 after 5, and the bell rang 2 hours ago. Looks like these guys are some dedicated students, and they're going to be here till at least 6. I wonder what else is going on in Loyalton High School. Who's working in here after hours? Looks like Miss Grissel grading some papers. Oh, and look at that. We got another light on in here. Let's find out who's in here. And looky here, our wonderful athletic director working after hours. Let's find out what she's doing. So, Mrs. Campbell, what are you working on?
Well, I'm working on the schedule for basketball.
You work a lot after hours?
Well, oftentimes I have to catch up on getting all of the schedules done and the paperwork finished up, because during the day the kids are in here a lot, so I have to stay after they've finished.
So, do you realize a lot of after-school activity after the bell rings?
Yeah, we have a lot of kids hanging out because we've got the practices going on for basketball. So we have 4 teams, and so there's always kids in the hallways either doing their schoolwork waiting or they're in the gym practicing. So there's a lot of activity.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mrs. Campbell.
You are welcome.
Well, let's see what else is going on in Loyalton High School. And who's in here? It's Adriana, cleaning every room like she does every day, like it was her own house. And doing a great job. Remember, students, make sure you pick up your trash and don't put your gum under those desks, because she's the only worker that works during nights and days. Man, Loyalton High School sure is a busy place after that 3 o'clock bell. But it's no different than any other American high school. Sports practices, student study, and a hard-working staff to make sure students of American high schools can have a successful high school experience. I'm Luke Campbell with Grizzly News, and man, it's getting late, and I'm out of here.